Hare Krishna, Pranam dear devotees. Thank you all for joining. Let's start with the
Hare Krishna
prayers.
Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Pranam.
Pranam, Pranam, Hare Krishna. So let's start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशितारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा श्री उपदेशामृत की जय, श्रील रूप गोस्वामी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गुरु महाराज की जय. हरे कृष्णा. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much for joining. We are on verse 3 of Sri Updeshamrit, the Nectar of Instruction. And this verse is talking about the 6 principles which are favorable for the execution of devotional service. And we've been discussing about enthusiasm. And today we'll talk more about endeavoring with confidence and being patient. And we'll see if we are able to proceed further. So first, let us start with the reading of the verse and the translation. So devotees who would like to recite the verse can please raise their
Hare
hand.
Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Want to read?
Yes. May I?
Yes, please, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam
No, Mataji,
Archanam
the third verse, Utsahan Nishchayadhyarya.
Oh, the same thing?
Yes, Mataji, third verse of Nectar of
Yes.
Instruction.
Utsahan Nishchayat Dhairyat Tattat Karma Pravartanat Sangatyagat Satovrate Sadbir Bhakti Prasiddhyati.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Sudha
Okay.
Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams.
Mataji.
उत्साहा निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ते षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Chandra Mataji, you want to recite?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
उत्साहान्निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् सङ्गत्यागात् सतो वृत्ते षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Is anyone else? Shobha Mataji?
Mataji, shall I, Mataji?
Yeah, Shobha Mataji, and then you can recite, Mataji, because she's already raised her hand. Yeah.
Hare
Shobha
Krishna,
Mataji.
Dandat Pranam Mataji and Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Utsahan nishchaya dhairya tattat karma pravartanat sangatyagat sato vritte shadbir bhaktir prasidhyati. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Dhanvat Pranam. Yes, Kripamai Mataji. Hari Bol.
उत्साहं निश्चय धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सदो वृत्ते सद्भिर्भक्ति प्रसीदयात्. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Dandavat.
Mataji. Dhanvat Pranam. Sumati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी
Hare Krishna.
उत्साहान् निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् सङ्गत्यागात् सतो वृत्तेः षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसीद्यति
Hari Bol. Thank you all. Thank you so much. So here the first three principles are Utsahan, Nishchaya, Dhairya. That means enthusiasm, confidence, and patience. Then Tattat Karma Pravartanat means various activities favorable for devotional service should be performed. Sangatyaga, that means giving up the association of non-devotees. Shata Vritte, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, the great acharyas. And Shadbi Bhakti Prasiddhyati, by these, the devotional service advances or becomes successful. So the translation by Srila Prabhupada reads as follows, that there are 6 principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service: being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient, acting according to regulative principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna, abandoning the association of non-devotees and following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. Now, we are taking time, we're not rushing through these verses as you all have seen over the past few weeks, because these are very fundamental to our progress in bhakti. Right? I mean, they are the practical tips which we have to follow on a daily basis. So if we just rush through these verses, then that essence, we might miss it out. And why are we doing all these endeavors? Why are we chanting? Why are we reading scriptures? Because we want to advance in bhakti. We want to get pure devotional service for Lord Krishna, right? Now, things that are going to help us, things that are going to harm us, we have to know these things and we have to be very thorough in these things so that all our actions are in accordance with these principles. That's why please don't feel that, why are we going so slow? It's important. That's why Achintya Gopinath Prabhu instructed us to go slowly. Otherwise, because, we will miss out the intricacies. It's possible to complete, one verse in one class also. It's definitely possible. But then there are so many nuances, there are so many behavioral things, there are so many examples from our scriptures or from daily life that, if we go through those, then each of these principles will really stay with us and it will really help us, in our conduct. So it's all, like they say, life is all about choices. At every moment we are making choices. Like at this moment, you chose to come for a class to know Krishna better, to learn about things which will get you closer to Krishna. You could have done anything else in this time, but you chose to come here. So this is a choice you have made which is taking you closer to Krishna. So if we know what are those correct things, if I do these things, I'll go closer to Krishna. If I do these things, I'll go further away from Krishna. What should my behavior as a devotee be? What are the practical examples? What are the practical tips? It's very important to understand that. That's why we are taking time. That's why we're going a little slow. So today we'll start reading from where Mataji left last time. I'll just go to that section. So after Friday's section, I think here, endeavor executed with intelligence in Krishna consciousness. Right? I think this is where Mataji stopped. So these three principles, no? Utsahan, Nishchaya, Dhairya, they're actually very much, we can say in a way, similar sounding, but all of them will have some differences, will have some practicalities which we have to take care in our conduct as sadhakas. So here in this particular section that we are going to read today, we'll learn more about Utsaha, we'll learn more about, Nishchaya, we'll learn more about Dhairya. So, this path of bhakti, devotees compare it with, they give various analogies to help us understand that it's sometimes compared to the growing of a plant, sometimes it's compared to a journey also. So, all these different analogies we're going to try and discuss today. But first, let's read through this section. I'll just highlight this portion that we'll first read, and after that, we'll go to the next section because that's talking about the association part. So first, let's read this section. So would someone like to read, starting with endeavor executed with intelligence? Yeah, Chandana
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, you can start. Swati Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji, you read.
Endeavor executed with intelligence in Krishna consciousness is called Utsaha or enthusiasm. The devotees find the correct means by which everything can be utilized in the service of the Lord. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Yuktam Vairagyam Uchtate. The execution of devotional service is not the matter of idle meditation but practical action in foreground of spiritual life. These activities must be executed with patience. One should not be impatient in Krishna consciousness. Indeed, this Krishna conscious movement was started single-handedly, and in the beginning there was no response. But because we continue to execute our service devotional activities with patience, people gradually began to understand the importance of this moment, and now they are regularly practicing. One should not be impatient in discharging the devotional service, but should take instructions from the spiritual master and execute them with patience, depending on the mercy of Guru and Krishna. The successful
Mataji, now,
execution of
yeah, thank you, Mataji. Now
Hare Krishna
let's have
Mataji.
the other readers. Thank you so much. Yeah, Chandana Mataji, you can read till the end of this paragraph from here.
Yes, Mataji, thank you, Hare Krishna. The successful execution The successful execution of Krishna conscious activities requires both patience and confidence. A newly married girl naturally expects offsprings from her husband, but she cannot expect to have them immediately after her marriage. Of course, as soon as she is married, she can attempt to get a child, but she must surrender to her husband, confident that her child will develop and be born in due time. Similarly, in devotional service, surrender means that one has to become confident. The devotee thinks, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna will surely protect me and give me help for the successful execution of devotional service. This is called confidence. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah, now Sudha Mataji, you can read the next paragraph.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam.
Pranam.
As already explained, one should not be idle, but should be very enthusiastic about executing the regulative principles, tat karma pravartana. Neglect of the regulative principles will destroy devotional service. In this Krishna conscious movement, there are four basic regulative principles: forbidding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. A devotee must be very enthusiastic about following these principles. If he becomes slack in following any of them, his progress will certainly be checked. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore recommends tat karma pravartanat. One must strictly follow the regulative principles of Vaidhi Bhakti. In addition to these four prohibitions, yama, there are positive regulative principles, niyama, such as the daily chanting of 16 rounds on Japamala beads. These regulative activities must be faithfully performed with enthusiasm. This is called Tat Karma Pravarthana, or varied engagement in devotional service. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So let's try to understand these three paragraphs. So Prabhupada is stating here in the first para that we read that endeavor executed with intelligence in Krishna consciousness is called utsaha or enthusiasm. So utsaha or enthusiasm, is required to do anything in this life, right? I mean, if we don't have any enthusiasm, then would we really have studied properly, or to get whatever degree that we work for, or even in our families, looking after our families, or our job, or looking after the children, anything, any materialistic activity also requires some level of enthusiasm. Without enthusiasm, it's very difficult to even go through a particular day, because then we'll be so dull that we'll not have any energy to do anything. So it's very, very important, utsaha, having utsaha. Then nishchaya, that is confidence, in whatever we are doing in life. It's very, very important. And then dhairya, this patience, so very important. It's such an important quality in our materialistic life and as well as in our spiritual life. And our goal, if we have a spiritual goal, then that goal is so much bigger than any materialistic goal that we could have ever had. That's why Prabhupada used to say that, sometimes people think that we are not ambitious, but actually we are the most ambitious, because the goal of a devotee is higher than any materialistic person. So the devotee is the most ambitious. And to fulfill the ambition, definitely we need enthusiasm, definitely we need confidence, and definitely we need patience. So these three qualities are very, very important. Together, enthusiasm, patience, faith, they can take us on the path of transcendence. So these are attitudes actually. If we talk about utsaha, nishchaya, and dhairya, that is enthusiasm, confidence, and patience, these are attitudes which we need to bring in our life. We cannot live a dual life, that okay, in my bhakti life I'll behave in a particular manner, and then I'll be a totally different person in my materialistic life. Obviously there will be some differences, but those differences, if they remain external, that is still manageable. But if we don't change ourselves from inside, then it's very difficult to maintain these two lives. That okay, I'm a very impatient person in general, but in bhakti I'll suddenly be very patient. It's very difficult to have these two very conflicting attitudes, right? So that attitude change has to be brought. And attitudes favorable for cultivation of bhakti are utsahan, nishchaya, dhairya, tat karma pravartana. That means we should be very enthusiastic, we should have confidence in the path of bhakti, and we should be patient, and we should be willing to follow the predecessors, our acharyas, the rules and regulations that have been given to us. Now, utsaha, what is utsaha really? It's that eagerness to perform the limbs of sadhana which enhance bhakti. And it should not become a dreary thing for us, because the activities in the life of a devotee, there are some things which we have to do on a daily basis. We have to chant our rounds daily, we have to perform deity worship, offer bhoga, reading, attending classes. These are things which we are doing on a daily basis. So if we think that this is boring, we don't have any enthusiasm, then we are doing something which is most important for us very half-heartedly. So that's really not going to help us. So we should have eagerness. How will that eagerness come? It will come when we know the importance of these activities. See, if we look around us, there are so many people who have absolutely no knowledge about who they actually are, that they are actually a spirit soul, they are part and parcel of Krishna. What is the ultimate aim of life? So, yeah, even if, at least speaking about myself, even if we have not practically realized everything, at least theoretically we know what is right and what is wrong. Okay, so we should know that what the gift that we have received is very, very special. So that should make us very eager to perform the limbs of sadhana, which are going to enhance our bhakti. Then nishchaya, confidence. Here it is used in the sense of confidence. We should have firm conviction that signifies our faith. We should have faith in this process. And dhairya, that means we should never slacken in the execution of the limbs of bhakti, even when there is a delay in obtaining the goal. So, in summary, utsaha, nishchaya, dhairya, this is what they mean. Now, in utsaha, whatever endeavor we are doing in our Krishna conscious process, It should be done with intelligence. That's what Prabhupada is saying here, that endeavor executed with intelligence in Krishna consciousness is called utsaha or enthusiasm. And why do we need to be enthusiastic? We need to be enthusiastic to become qualified to return home, back to Godhead. Enthusiasm is a must for one who wants success in anything. So, even if one wants to have a degree, or one wants to become a successful businessman, one wants to raise very good children, or one wants to become a very good artist, anything, we need enthusiasm. So, definitely, Prabhupada, like he's saying, endeavor executed with intelligence in Krishna consciousness is utsahan. So, we should why should we be enthusiastic? Because we should know that everything that we are doing it for Krishna. Okay, Krishnarte Akila Cheshta. All my cheshta, all my endeavor is for Krishna. So that should make us enthusiastic. And how are we executing it? We are executing it under the direction of our Guru. And what is our purpose? Our purpose is to attain perfection in Bhakti Yoga. We have to dovetail everything in the service of Krishna. That is what Yukta Vairagya actually is. So Prabhupada is stating this fact many times in this purport, that bhakti is not a matter of idle meditation but practical action. That's why he calls bhakti devotional service. So it's not that I can just, sit and I'm meditating and then I can call myself a devotee. Anyone who is really a devotee or a sincere sadhaka will definitely be doing practical action for Krishna. Now, to understand Utsaha, Nishchaya, and Dhairya, there is an example of a journey given. This example is given by His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. Excuse me. So Prabhu, gives this example to help us understand the role of these three in our spiritual life. So, for example, if we have to go from Delhi to Vrindavan, then first of all, we should have the confidence that this is the path. If I take to this, say, Yamuna flyover, or whichever road we are taking, that this path is going to take me to Vrindavan. So first of all, I have that confidence that yeah, this is the path. If I follow this road, I'm going to reach there. Then I should definitely have enthusiasm to drive, right? Or to sit in a car or a bus that is going to take me to Vrindavan. So I need to have enthusiasm. And it's not like immediately when I sit in the car, I'm going to reach Vrindavan immediately. It's going to take 2, 3 hours or 4 hours. And, that time we should have patience. Even if I'm going very fast, it will still take time. So we should have the patience to keep going. Right. So, in the same way, we are in this material world and we have to take this journey back to Krishna. So, we need faith that, lot of different items of faith are required, that I'm not this body, that I'm part of Krishna. We should have faith in Guru. We should have faith in scriptures. We should have faith in ISKCON. But most importantly, we should have faith that this process of bhakti will take me back to Krishna. Okay, this process of bhakti will help me attain the most important goal of my life. The process of bhakti, the path of bhakti is what will take me back to Krishna. But my transformation will not happen overnight. Right? So, first of all, we have confidence in the path of bhakti. We are executing all the processes of bhakti enthusiastically, and then we need to have patience. We have to keep practicing enthusiastically. It's not like, oh, I've been chanting 16 rounds for so long and I'm not feeling any ecstasy, and I'm not having any bodily transformations. I'm not having any, flash of visions, or no, nothing is happening in my life. Definitely, transformations are happening in our life for sure, and this will be more evident by people who know us. We may not, people who have seen us earlier and now will definitely see a change, and many changes we can ourselves also feel. So the path of bhakti is definitely working. We should just have patience to keep sitting in the car, right? And then we'll reach Vrindavan. In the same way, if we sit in this boat of ISKCON that Prabhupada has made for all of us, we will definitely reach Krishna, but we should be very sincere, and we should be enthusiastic, and we should be following all the principles. Sorry, another example is given of growing of crops. So when there is a farmer who wants to grow some crops, first of all, he should be excited, right? He should be enthusiastic that, oh, I have these seeds, I want to grow these crops now. And then he does all sorts of cultivation. He has faith in the land, that this land is actually fertile, and he has faith in the seeds, that these seeds will germinate, that they will give plants. And then he should have patience, for the crops to grow, because it'll take time, whatever is the course of nature. So in this path of bhakti, we should also do a lot of cultivation of good habits, and we have to remove the weeds, the unwanted things in our path of bhakti. And then regular watering of the plant, and giving nourishment to the plant through hearing and chanting. And then when this whole process is followed patiently, then the Bhakti Lata Bij will grow in the heart and give the fruit of Krishna Prema. So it's centered around cultivation. So through these two examples of the journey and of the cultivation of crops, we can understand how very important Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya are. And it is explained that how do we show our enthusiasm? I can say that, oh, I'm very enthusiastic, and I'm very, very committed. I'm so excited about this whole process. But do I really do any activity to show that? Am I really committed to this process? That is actually the test of our Utsaha. Because utsaha or enthusiasm is expressed through sustained commitment. Have I been committed to this process over a period of time through the trials and tribulations of life? If yes, then yeah, then we can say that yes, I am enthusiastic. That commitment factor should be there. And like Prabhupada said, we should endeavor with intelligence. And it is mentioned by devotees that we have to see how much we can see how much a person is committed to serving Krishna by seeing how they have molded their life towards Krishna. We should not think that only chanting, performing arti, or offering bhoga, reading books, only these activities can be done for Krishna. No, not just arti or chanting, but we should try doing everything for Krishna, because everything can be used in Krishna's service, and everything should be used in Krishna's service. Enthusiasm also means that we should bring more and more things, in this purview of service for Krishna, expanding our conceptions of devotion. For example, working on a computer, driving, all these things may apparently seem to be materialistic activities, but all these things can be used in Krishna's service, right? We can work for Krishna, we can offer the results to Krishna, we can cook for Krishna, we can keep the house clean for Krishna, because this is Krishna's house. Like some devotees give this example that in some homes, only the temple room will be very clean, but the rest of the house will be messy. So, what are we telling the deities? That you just, please just be on the altar. You don't have to get down and roam around the house, because that we are not keeping clean, because we are assuming that you will just stay in the temple room. If we are doing that, then we don't really feel that this is Krishna's house, right? If it is actually Krishna's house, then every nook and corner of the house should be clean, because Krishna can roam around, Krishna can play anywhere. So, if we use our intelligence, God given intelligence, then we can see that everything can be used in Krishna's service. The materialistic education that we have acquired after so much of effort, we can use it in Krishna's service. Accountancy can be done for Krishna, civil services can be used for Krishna, engineering can be used, AI can be used for Krishna. Everything can be done. Graphical designing, so many things. There are so many doctors who are serving great devotees, right? So they are using their degrees in Krishna's service, right? Lawyers who are fighting cases for ISKCON. So there are so many successful businessmen who are using their money for Krishna's service. And most importantly, we have been given this body by Krishna. So we should use this body in Krishna's service. Now, depending upon our age and our circumstances, we all may be doing different activities. Right? Some may be able to physically use their body in Krishna's service. Some may be using their intelligence in Krishna's service. Some may be using their ears, hearing about Krishna, chanting, taking Krishna's names through their mouth. In this way, if we really are determined to do everything for Krishna, then there is always a way. So everything can be engaged in Krishna's service. So if we are doing that, then we are really showing Krishna that yes, Krishna, I'm enthusiastic about this process of bhakti, right? So then nishchaya, that here nishchaya, that in general it means determination, but here it is used as confidence. The confidence that avashya rakshibe Krishna, that Krishna will always protect me. That's the confidence of a devotee. We should have complete confidence on the path of bhakti. Scriptural testimony and also one's own experience should give one confidence that when I practice bhakti, I will make spiritual advancement. Our life is different from the life of the materialists because we are trying to serve Krishna. But we should not feel that, oh, just because I'm related, I'm trying to follow in the path of what Srila Prabhupada has given. I'm trying to be a part of ISKCON. So I'm missing out on something because materialistic people, they're leading their life differently, and some of them do seem to be, enjoying a lot, and they may seem more prosperous than us and more happier than us. But all that, is many times just external behavior. And even if it is real, they may be enjoying in whatever position they are in life, but is it actually the best thing to do with your human form of life? This we should ask ourselves. So a devotee should have confidence only in bhakti, that if I am performing bhakti, if I am trying to serve Krishna sincerely, then everything else will be taken care of. Bhakti is the life, soul, desired goal, and perfection for the soul. This is something that we should never ever give up, because if we are doing this, then we are watering the root of the tree, which will give nourishment to the whole plant. So, yes, there are a lot of difficulties. We may be facing a lot of challenges in following bhakti. Challenges may come externally, challenges may come from our own mind, from our own family members. Yeah, that all is there. But our goal is much bigger than all these things. We've had family members in millions of lifetimes. So are we going to leave bhakti just because we are facing some opposition from them? No, definitely not. Yes, we should not start fighting with everyone. No. But there is also a way to follow our path without, giving in to temptations, without giving into external pressure, and also without creating any confusion and problems in our family life. So those practicalities can be worked upon depending upon the situation. But we have to remember that if we continue doing bhakti for Krishna, Krishna will make sure that everything around us will become fine. And if still there are some challenges, then those challenges are there just to keep us encouraged. That, okay, every person is different. Some of us may work better if there are challenges, some of us may work worse. So Krishna knows, for each person to give them what. Sometimes a little opposition makes us more determined that no, I'm not going to give up my path of bhakti. Okay, you may not like it, you may like it, whatever. But I'm not going to stop my chanting. I'm not going to start eating things that I should not eat just because you are asking me to do that. Sometimes we need some opposition also. It may help us also. So Krishna knows. For some devotees, the path may become very, very simple and they will progress very nicely. Some devotees, with some opposition, they'll progress nicely. So Krishna knows for each soul, for each devotee, what works. So he makes that accordingly. But the condition is that we should have firm determination that this path of bhakti will ultimately take me to the goal. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami defines faith or Shraddha in Chaitanya Charitamrita that there can be so many activities in religion, but we should have faith that by serving Krishna, all other activities will be performed. So I don't have to go and perform all the yagyas given in the Vedas or do fasting on this day and tie this cloth around this tree or, all sorts of things. We don't need to do that. We have to just serve Krishna as Srila Prabhupada has guided us. Okay, so this, when Krishna is satisfied, everyone is satisfied. Okay, all needs are satisfied when Krishna is satisfied. This actually is the mysticism or the magic of bhakti. The heart which could not find satisfaction in the gross things in the world finds satisfaction in the simplest services of Krishna. There are so many people, who have really great things in life, but they've been very depressed. Especially nowadays, these mental problems are so much on the rise. But just coming to the temple, hearing kirtan, it transforms people's lives. One devotee was telling that one relative of his, either I think his brother, a very close relative, was completely into science. And, that kind of a person who thinks science and religion are totally opposed to each other. And this person, who was not at all into religion, he went once to the Juhu Mandir, ISKCON Juhu, Shri Shri Radha Ras Bihari temple. And just by seeing how beautifully the deities were dressed, he was convinced that no, this is not an ordinary place. This kind of beauty, it attracted him so much that he became a devotee. So, it can be the simplest of things which may appear very simple on the external, to the external vision, but there is magic in bhakti. Because the heart, the soul is touched, the heart is touched, the transformations will take place. This is the extraordinary nature of spiritual activities. But that confidence has to be there, that if I satisfy Krishna, then all is achieved. Why do we discuss all these examples? Why do we hear about transformations of devotees? Because it gives us more faith in the path of bhakti. That yes, when this transformation has come about in the lives of others, it will come about in our lives also. And we may be experiencing experiencing the transformations already. So if we keep treading on this path with determination, with confidence, then definitely life is going to change for the best. And Prahlad Maharaj, he has said that what is our real self interest? The real self interest is in serving Lord Krishna. When one has received the taste of bhakti, then that will stay with us. Sometimes, due to some misfortune, one may come to the path of bhakti, but may digress a bit. They may walk out of the path for varied reasons. It happens in some cases. But the path of bhakti is so strong, that connect is so strong that it definitely comes back. And I've seen this in my personal family also. That, someone may lose track and go out, but Krishna never forgets. Krishna brings that person back. The situations in life will happen in such a way that one is reminded. Because if one comes on the path of bhakti, one tastes something, right? Some spiritual nectar one has tasted. Then one goes back to the materialistic life. And, sometimes we think that what I have achieved in my materialistic joys, it's not enough. That's why I'm not feeling satisfied. Hmm. Sorry. So I may think that let me try getting more. Let me try achieving more, then I'll feel satisfied. But we keep doing more and more. We are digging deeper, deeper, deeper. But at one point, we'll realize that no, this is still not making me happy. But I have experienced happiness. And that was when I was with Krishna, when I was doing bhakti. So then one comes back again. So the problem is that sometimes we are not very focused on bhakti. Then, that is when we may fall down because we try looking for that joy elsewhere. That's why we need to be alert and determined in bhakti. Because see, yeah, we know that okay, someone digresses, then they will come back, but we have to understand that this is a difficult path because the more we have gone down, we have to cover that much distance again, and then we have to go further, right? So the more we go down, the more we have to come up. So we are doing a big harm to ourselves by engaging in material enjoyment because that is pulling us down, and then we'll have to make up for that loss. So why do we want to do that? Let's try to progress faster on the path of bhakti by not giving into these materialistic temptations. This confidence has to be there that If I'm sincerely engaged in the path of bhakti, then this bhakti will give me protection. This faith we should have. And we will see Krishna's protection in our life all the time. It's just that many times things are happening and we think, oh, this was my good luck. Oh, this happened by chance. No, no. Krishna is there. Krishna always looks after his devotees. So we have to have that confidence that, yes, Krishna is definitely always there. What is missing is my endeavor, my part. I'm not able to do enough. So then, patience, dharya, even for, like I mentioned, even for materialistic education, for any degree, we have worked for 20, 25 years. But in spiritual life, many times we don't have patience. And many times, people who don't have patience on the path of bhakti, they become sahajiyans, who take everything very cheaply. And then they start talking about imaginative things that, oh, I got darshan of Krishna, I saw the Ras Leela, I'm hearing Krishna's flute, this is all Sahajiya behavior. If we see the great devotees, if we see the acharyas, they never talk about these intricate matters, these esoteric matters with Krishna. They never do that. Srila Prabhupada said that bhakti is about practical things. It's not about sitting here and imagining Ras Leela. No, it's not about magical feats. That if my guru is able to bring give me gold out of air, or they are able to remove this disease, and only then I'm going to believe in them. It's not that. If one wants a disease cured, then we should go to a doctor. We should get proper medical treatment. Yes, we are depending upon the blessings of devotees. But we are not on the path of bhakti because we want a disease cured, or because I want money, or because I want a house built. No. Those are different motivations. Those are, different things completely. Right? That's not what bhakti is for. Bhakti is to go back home, uh, go back to Krishna, to our eternal home. So, uh, you know, for progress on this path of bhakti, we need to have patience, and we need to know that why am I here? I'm not here to get materialistic things. Yes, Krishna provides for everything for his devotees, whatever is required for his devotees so that they can continue on the path of bhakti. Krishna definitely takes care. But that should not be our motivation, and that is different from devotee to devotee. Then we have to understand that for being patient, patience inherently is a quality of satoguna. So we should increase the goodness, in our life, the mode of goodness in our life. We need to make an effort to increase that, because rajas and tamas, they cause impatience. So that's why, we cannot think that, oh, I'll eat whatever I want, any kind of rajasic food I'll eat, I'll have a very rajasic life, but yet I'll be patient and I'll, follow the path of bhakti. Why are all these things given to us? Why has Prabhupada told us not to eat certain things? Why has Prabhupada told us the importance of reading or chanting? Because all these things are going to help us. It's a complete development, complete change of our personality that needs to be done so that we are able to understand that this life is not for my enjoyment, but I am meant to satisfy Krishna for his enjoyment. So we need to increase our mode of goodness. Another thing that will help us stay patient on the path of bhakti is asking ourselves that what all can I do for Krishna? Because he has already given us so much. We get impatient when we feel that, oh, we are not getting something in return. Krishna has already given us so much. I mean, he has given these things to everyone, in fact. The sunshine, the air to breathe, water, this beautiful earth planet, which we can, stay in and practice bhakti. There is so many good food items, fruits, vegetables, milk. Krishna has provided all these things, right? And on top of that, we are so fortunate that he has given us devotee association also. In this human form of life, we became so fortunate that we could understand who we really are, at least theoretically, and we got a chance to be in a boat which will take us back to Krishna. His Grace Gaurang Prabhu says that the day you joined ISKCON, you got a boarding pass for Goloka Vrindavan. Now the date is depending upon how sincerely we are practicing, because that is going to determine how fast we go back to Krishna. But for sure, I mean, that kind of a guarantee, isn't it amazing? If we don't, if we don't do aparag to Vaishnavas, if we don't criticize, if we chant nicely, Prabhupada has said, follow the four regulative principles, chant 16 rounds nicely. He said he's going to take us back home. Isn't that such a great fortune that we have? So when we remember that so many gifts we have already received, that will help us stay patient in our endeavors. Sometimes people talk about esoteric matters, but they don't even do their 16 rounds. They don't even follow the basic sadhana. That that kind of a practice won't work. We don't have to jump and immediately start talking about Radha Krishna pastimes. No, why is that coming in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam? There is a very deep reason for it. We need to be prepared in our consciousness to even read those matters, right? So, we should never, try to fast forward and immediately go into Radha Krishna pastimes. No, we need to have patience, follow whatever our Guru, whatever Srila Prabhupada have told us to do. And we should have confidence. Confidence in Srila Prabhupada, confidence in our Guru Maharaj, confidence in our Guru Parampara. That's why, and today is such a wonderful day. Today is the appearance day of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. So many beautiful Vaishnav bhajans he has written. And if we see his life also, he was born in a very wealthy family, but he gave up everything because he wanted to go to Vrindavan and be with Lokanath Das Goswami, be with all the devotees, with Srinivasa Acharya, Shyamanand Pandit, under the guidance of Srila Jiva Goswami. And he was so patient because his Guru Maharaj was not giving him Diksha. He was going and cleaning that place where his Guru Maharaj would go for his morning rituals. Without even telling him he was doing that, and he was doing it very patiently. And then his Guru Maharaj accepted him. So, on such great, on the appearance days or on these special occasions, when we hear about the acharyas in our line, we should have so much confidence that this is a great lineage that I got to be a part of. So that will increase our confidence in the path of bhakti. So we should find out, we should hear more about our acharyas, and when we sing their beautiful bhajans, that will that will help us understand that their what wonderful mood they had, what wonderful compassion they had, what wonderful humility they had. So there's so much to learn, right, in our behavior, in our conduct. So we should never feel like things are not working out. Things are definitely working out because there is so much we have already received. So just imagine if we just stick to this path sincerely, what more wonderful gifts are going to come our way. So that is the confidence we should have. And we should never be impatient in executing Krishna conscious activities. Okay, I've been doing this kind of seva, I never get recognition, or I get, only criticism. All those things may happen. We are still in this materialistic world. There are all sorts of, difficulties that will come up. But we should be very enthusiastic and patient in our execution of Krishna consciousness. We should take instructions from our spiritual master and execute those instructions with patience. Most importantly, we should be depending on the mercy of Guru and Krishna. And successful execution of Krishna conscious activities requires both patience and confidence. Like this example that Prabhupada gives in the purport, that when a woman gets married, she may want to have a child immediately, but that's not possible. She submits to her husband and she has patience, and then there is a time for the birth of the child that comes. But she cannot be impatient that, okay, today I got married, tomorrow I need to have a baby. There is a process. So there it takes time. So she has to be patient. In the example of Srila Prabhupada, we see how much patience he had. He started ISKCON single-handedly. There was so much problem that he was facing. He had no support, no money, nothing in America. His god brothers were also calling him back. Many times he would go to the harbor and ask when is Jaladuta returning to India, but he never got on it, right? Because he knew that his Guru Maharaj has sent him for a purpose. how, from one person to the other person, people got interested. And initially, when he was staying with the Agarwal family, when he had uh, initially got to America, they used to keep non-vegetarian food in the same fridge where Prabhupada also had to store his food. And he was there, one devotee in the midst of all non-devotees. But he was so sweet, he was so compassionate and kind. When he came to New York also, it was all amidst the drug addicts, right? But he was so patient and loving. He was cooking for the hippies every Sunday. He was cleaning after them. No, he didn't even ask them to clean. Later on, some of them saw that Swamiji is cleaning, so they started helping out. But Prabhupada was so patient. And at that advanced age, gradually, there was response started coming, then gradual expansion happened, and how ISKCON grew to be a worldwide mission. But it took so much patience on the part of Prabhupada. And we should not think that, oh, Prabhupada could keep that much patience because he's a, he's the Acharya, he's a, eternal associate of Lord Krishna. If Prabhupada wanted, he was so empowered. Prabhupada could just, immediately bring about transformation, which he did also. But there were so many difficulties in Prabhupada's life, so that we don't give excuses in our life that adversities are there. I cannot practice Krishna consciousness. Was age in Prabhupada's favor? No. He was 70 when he reached America. Did he have so much money? No. Did he have so much support? No. Was he in the midst of devotees? No. So, yes, we may also have adversities in our life, but seeing Prabhupada's, a great example, we should stop giving these excuses. That's why, some devotees say that from Prabhupada's example, he leaves out nothing. All sorts of, family problems, yes, health problems, yes, everything was there. And yet he was so determined. So we should learn from that. Definitely, we cannot copy Prabhupada because his level of attachment to Krishna was of a totally different level. We cannot imitate Srila Prabhupada, but we can try to follow in his footsteps, to be enthusiastic, to be determined in whatever capacity Krishna has kept us now. And also, this confidence, this faith. We have the example of Kolavecha Sridhar in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. You all must have heard of this pastime. He was a very simple and very poor, poverty-stricken banana leaf seller, and he would sell banana cups, banana leaves, all these things, and he would charge bare minimum amount. And he was very, very poor. He didn't have any possessions. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go and say that, there are so many holes in your dhoti. There is more hole than, you've tied it everywhere, and there are more knots than the cloth actually. And see, the people who are worshipping demigods, they are so affluent, they are so rich. But Kolavecha Sridhar did not want anything. He knew that, oh, he had full faith in Krishna's protection, that I don't need to go to any other demigod, I don't need to do any other kind of worship. Krishna will give me protection. So this so many wonderful examples which we have in our scriptures of devotees, and personally we see in Prabhupada's life, in our own ISKCON movement. ISKCON became such a wonderful, beautiful mission because Prabhupada had so much firm conviction in the words of his Guru Maharaj. He had so much conviction in the words of Lord Chaitanya, that if Lord Chaitanya has said that his name is going to be chanted in every town and village, then yes, that is going to happen. And that is the confidence we should have in Srila Prabhupada's words. That if Prabhupada has given us this path and he has told us that if you follow this path, then you will be successful, you will be able to achieve Krishna Prem, then we should have that confidence, we should have that faith that if Prabhupada is saying, then it must happen. Many times it may happen that we get disheartened, things things become difficult. If our materialistic life becomes difficult, sometimes our spiritual life also becomes difficult. Such kind of problems may come, and that may happen. But that should not shake us from the path of bhakti. We should still have confidence that yes, even though I'm not seeing light, at the end of the tunnel right now, but definitely light is there, because our acharyas, our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada have promised that if we are doing these things, we will achieve success. So in the third paragraph, it is more about Tat Karma Pravartana, so which we'll discuss in more detail tomorrow. But today, we discuss these three principles, Utsaha, Nishya, Dhairyat, in more detail, which are very, very important to take us, further in our spiritual life. So we'll stop there for now and we'll continue tomorrow. If there are any questions, any comments, anything you would like to add or ask or discuss, we can do that now. No? So I hope the pace is...
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Can I share one incident?
Yes, Mataji.
In our life? Yeah.
Sure, Mataji, please.
Once when my husband came from Dubai, while he was there, he was about to come in 1 month. He had a toothache. It was terrible. He went to the doctor. 1 month he was undertaking treatment. And ultimately the doctor said, I can't do anything. You go to India and see. So he came to India. As soon as he came, we saw a doctor. And then he said, to take some tests. And then they discovered that he was heading for cancer. That was carcinoma under the tooth, right? So immediately he said, don't waste time. He had already reached the second stage.
Okay.
So we went to look for doctors, doctor to doctor, all cancer doctors. Everyone was giving negative directions. And one doctor said, first you go for chemotherapy, all that, it was very discouraging. And we were so confused. So in the end, when we went to Tata Hospital, there one lady came and, she came and touched my husband's feet. And she said, what are you looking for? So, while talking, she said, for you, I recommend you a doctor, go there. When you go there, he's a very good doctor. He sees to all these things, because my husband also is having, his nose is bleeding from quite some time. And that's also that's also a form of cancer. So she said, we have gone there, he sent us here. So you all better go there. So we took down her phone number and all that, and we also wished her good luck. And she said, if we can be of any help to you also, maybe we can do something. So she said we exchange our phone numbers. So after 2 days, we went and saw that doctor. And then as we went, there was a big, huge Krishna's picture. So we were just convinced, looking at the picture, all of us got convinced, okay, we have come to the right place. And then when we spoke to him and everything was done and everything was finalized. And then we want to talk to this lady. We couldn't find a phone number. We could never contact her. We tried so much. Totally, even the hospital we contacted because we want to help her and we want to thank her for giving us the direction. But I don't sometimes we feel even that doctor turned out to be like a Krishna devotee. And then the doctor who did the what do you call, the second doctor assistant, he was also Sitaram, Dr. Sitaram. Even all the people around, they had some connection, all Krishna's names. The more we came across them, the more we were so so confident that we were just sure that he will survive. It was a tough time. He was in the ICU for 3 days, but everything was successful, and he came out. Now this is about 7 years back. So ever since that, whole family is having so much confidence in Krishna Mataji. That was really a good experience. And I was in the hospital chanting all the time, praying to Krishna. So that gave us even more and more confidence that ultimately I knew I spoke to Krishna that only you can help us.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, that's a perfect example of Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna will send help. Yeah, so wonderful, Mataji. I hope Prabhuji is doing fine now. Thank you so much.
Very bad experience, Mataji.
I can understand, Mataji. Yeah, I mean, something like that happening in the family, it's very difficult. But you had confidence in Krishna. Your confidence didn't shake in this difficult time. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.
We got a new life, Mataji. Just
Yes,
a new life.
Yeah, so these, when you share this example, Mataji, we also get more confidence that, how Krishna, in magical ways, he helps his devotees. So, thank you so
much. And up to now, we can't find that lady's number anywhere.
Yeah.
So I feel she was God sent. Actually, she was a God sent.
Yeah, Mataji, these things happen.
Yeah, she
these
said, "You're
things
like my father. I want to help you." No, of all the
happen.
people, how she came to us?
How she came, yeah.
It's still a question in our mind.
Yes, Mataji. Krishna has mystical ways of helping. Very good. Yeah. Thank you so much,
Even when
Mataji.
after surgery, also when we went for chemotherapy, the lady said no need of chemotherapy. He's fine. He's okay. And the doctor said there's no need. So we asked her, what are the drawbacks of chemotherapy? She said, you have to come for 3 weeks, but gradually the skin will become black. That whole portion, the cheek, it will become black. So we thought this is actually not necessary. Even if you do chemotherapy, it can come again, maybe after 1 or 2 years. So we thought, okay, then we will not go for chemotherapy. So we thought we'll depend on Krishna. That's it. We changed his food, changed it completely. Went through WhatsApp, checked doctors, then all the diet and all that. We went to Ayurveda. He also directed us what to do. So the Ayurveda said, I will treat you. Because that cut, the cut on the cheek, what they gave. So it was healing. Every time it was opening. So we had to, they put plaster. Again, we had to go to doctor. So many times it was quite fine in Bombay. So ultimately, Ayurveda said, okay, I'll treat you, but on one condition, 50% mine. He said 25% mine, 75% Krishna, depend on Krishna. He was also Krishna Bhakta.
Yeah.
So everything was okay with God's grace. He gave us a tube. We applied that tube. He said in 2 days' time that healed the cheek. And any medicine that he gives, he offers it to Krishna. So whenever I met him the first time, I wished him Hare Krishna. Ever since, whenever he calls us, we are still in touch with him. He said anything you call him. Before I could wish him, he says Hare Krishna, Mataji, how are you?
Hare Bol. Spreading Krishna's name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mataji, see, that's what. There is no other help we have except, Krishna's. Who can we
Mataji,
depend on?
he lost so much weight. He became like a stick, because cancer reduces, Now with Krishna's mercy, he has gained weight. He's okay. It's fine. Even that cut is now very light, and so he cannot shave the hair, the beard. So he has kept a small beard, So these are very experiences of life. I just can't believe how to fit.
Mataji, very must have been so difficult, but you dependent on Krishna.
Very. 6 months I suffered for his diet because they had put the tube, from the nose to the stomach. He couldn't eat anything, no? So every 2 hours we had to give him liquid. So we had to see the diet, what diet he has, for him to recover fast. And everything we had to strain twice because the tube is so thin. So again, strain twice, strain once, then again we had to strain through a muslin. And I lost my patience, honestly, Mataji. It was very tough time for me.
But you didn't lose faith in Krishna, Mataji. That's
no faith. I didn't, I was whole 24 hours I was in the kitchen. Because soon after we gave him the food, again I had to prepare the next feed. Because every 2 hours we had to give him the liquid. Boiling moons, training, then lot of things, Mataji. The 6 months I lost weight. Like he recovered.
Yeah, Mataji, can't imagine.
Yeah, I thank Krishna for all that.
Yeah, I mean, your words give us faith, Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you. So yeah, see that this is practical application of Dhairyat, so very important for us to stay on the path of bhakti and not lose hope. So
fortunately, we had one very good neighbor, Mataji. She also helped us. She used to come with us, to take him. Even when you went to the hospital to see to meet the doctor that is for follow-up, we had to take hot water. We had to take his feed. There in the hospital, we had to put it through the tube because he'll be hungry every 2 hours. Because to travel from our house to the hospital, it takes 1 hour. Then coming back 1 hour. So 2 feeds we had to take. On the way, we had to stop the car also and give the feed so that, he doesn't feel hungry.
I can imagine, Mataji, yeah.
Very, very tough time that was.
It's very difficult for the person and the family as well.
And the family, yes, Mataji.
Krishna took you out of it, Mataji. So
yes, Mataji. I'll never forget this incident.
Thank you so much. You shared your experience. It really tells us how difficult this materialistic life is, and Krishna is our shelter.
So true.
So let us try, be focused on this path. And then Avashya Rakshabe Krishna.
He was always good in health, He has never been sick like that. Suddenly, I don't know how this happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, unexpected. Sorry, Mataji, I took so much time of yours.
No, Mataji, you're sharing your experience and it's giving us also, faith that we need to really stick to this path of bhakti. Krishna is always there for his devotees. Thank
And
you
for
so
the
much.
lady, I always think she's Krishna sent. Honestly, from nowhere she came, and then to give us the proper directions to go.
Miracles
That was
of
amazing.
Krishna. Yeah.
I still can't find her.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Mysterious, very mysterious.
Mysterious, yeah, mystical, no? This is the mystical experiences, yeah.
Even my husband also says, I'll do anything I can ask anybody if I only get her number, to talk to her and I'll find out how she is and thank her. But we never got the chance till now.
Okay. Yeah. So let's all try being focused on this path of bhakti.
Yeah, Mataji. Is the only Saveta.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. I think everyone is feeling grateful that you shared. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you all. We'll continue our reading tomorrow. Pancha kalpatrubhyascha
Kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Anant Koti Vaishnavrin ki jai.
Ki
जय
jai,
श्रील
Srila
प्रभुपाद
Prabhupada
की
ki
जय
jai.
Goswami
Hare
ki jai.
Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
So,
Thank you all.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Padma
Mataji.
Mataji.
thank you Mataji. Hare
Pranam,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Dandat pranam.